Thank Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the continued celebration of CS Ed Week for our last Lunch and Learn celebrating Computer Science Week. I'm Amanda McCammon with STEM Synergy and Keep Indiana Learning. We've been live all week long, bringing computer science experts and resources to Indiana educators as part of the In-Learning Partnership, a collaboration with the Indiana Department of Education, the Learning Lab, and Keep Indiana Learning. So now I would like to introduce our fabulous presenter for today's Lunch and Learn. Cabret is joining us from Girls Who Code, and she is the manager for community partnerships and outreach at Girls Who Code. She's going to be talking to us today about just in general Girls Who Code and what they do, but also she's going to talk a little bit about the what, the why, and the data behind why it's so important to get girls involved in STEM and computer science specifically. Cabret?
Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate it. And thank you, everyone. I really appreciate the time here during CS Ed Week to talk about Girls Who Code and the work that we're trying to do. My name is Cabret, and I'm a community partnerships manager at Girls Who Code. That means I get to work with school districts, library networks, and different nonprofits across the Midwest and in the state to bring our free coding curriculum and our resources to students all over. My goal today is just to give you a better understanding of what the gender gap in tech is exactly, what are its implications, and how we use our curriculum at Girls Who Code to help young girls and non-binary students get into the world of tech. And so as a quick note, I will be able to share this presentation along with any recording of it afterwards, so you can have the materials and the resources that I reference. If you go to that bit.ly link there at the top, you'll be able to sign up, and I'm happy to share all of the resources that I call out in this presentation afterwards. So with that, before we get started, I just want to give you a quick overview of what we'll cover in this session, what you can expect. I'll start by providing some of that general context on the state of computer science and the global movement to close the gender gap in technology. Then I'll dive into what our clubs program is and how it works exactly, how to implement, how to take our resources back to your students. And then finally, I'll go over how you can start your very own club and all the different opportunities for support that you have at Girls Who Code. And if you'd like to receive the resources, again, there's that bit.ly link. I'll also be sharing it once more in the presentation. So if you don't get to sign up now, you're more than welcome to do that later. So with that, the only way to understand the work that we're doing at Girls Who Code, understanding the value and the meaning behind it, is to understand the problem that we're trying to solve. So I've been saying gender gap in tech. What does that mean exactly? As technology continues to shape the way that we all live, computing skills have become one of the most sought after skills in the US economy. In fact, computing jobs are growing at 3 times the rate of overall job creation. And so, although we may think that these jobs are concentrated in tech fields within Silicon Valley, I think that's what we see in the media and that's what we hear about. The truth is that 91% of these jobs are located in other places across the country. And 67% of them are in non-tech fields, including art, medicine, agriculture, education, and manufacturing. Not only are these opportunities abundant, but also careers in computer science offer a higher average salary than most careers. These are the elements, this is the data that we try to bring to our students to help them understand that there is a viable career path out of their interest in coding, that they can pair coding with already pre-existing interests in fashion, art, media, and definitely hone those skills and be a better person for the workforce. Today alone, there are 500,000 open computing jobs in the US, but with just about 85,000 graduates in computer and informational sciences in 2019. There is a tremendous gap between open roles and qualified individuals to fill these positions. The gender gap has huge implications for the disconnect between computing job availability and workers. When we examine who exactly is graduating with computer and informational science degrees, we see a pronounced exclusion of women, and particularly women of color. According to the National Center for Women in Information Technology, young women make up only 21% of CIS graduates. And within that 21%, only 18% are Black or Latinx. Beyond lost economic opportunities, leaving women out of the computing workforce stifles innovation. What kind of products and services are we creating if 50% of the population is left out of decision making? When we think about building those products and programs, we need to make sure that more voices are heard to make these innovations the best they can be. So without having women having an equal seat at that table, we miss out on the talents and diverse perspectives of half the population. Girls Who Code exists to tackle these issues head on. We're an international nonprofit dedicated to closing the gender gap in tech and empowering change makers of tomorrow. We do this by providing completely free computer science programs that inspire, educate, and equip young women and non-binary students with those computing skills that they need to pursue 21st century career opportunities in tech, and our vision to reach gender parity in computing and technology sectors. So far, we've served over 450,000 girls and young women, 50% of whom are from historically underrepresented groups in tech, which we are particularly proud of. Our college and post-college age alumni sisterhood is about 90,000 strong, which is nearly 3 times the number of women who graduated with CS or related degrees in the US in 2019. So this is all to say that we believe that our programming is working and making a difference in the lives of the students who participate. So, what are clubs exactly? Now that we know a little bit more about the gender gap in tech and the problems that we are trying to tackle, the question is how? So, what are clubs? In short, clubs are free programs for 3rd through 12th grade students to join our sisterhood of supportive peers and role models and to use computer science to directly change their communities and the world. We believe that all girls and gender nonconforming students have this ability to learn to code, and we aim to serve them all, but especially those who are underrepresented in computer science in terms of race, creed, or background, those who are free and reduced lunch eligible, and those who have little to no access or exposure to computer science education. And finally, those who identify as female, regardless of gender assignment at birth or legal recognition. For our clubs program in particular, and I will mention a few other Girls Who Code programs, we welcome club members of all genders, including boys. It certainly does not hurt young boys to have female role models in tech, and we find that our mixed gender clubs get a lot out of the experience as well. There are 3 central pillars that underpin our educational philosophy. So these are the elements that underpin the entire foundation of the curriculum that we've developed. By emphasizing more than code, we're not just teaching students how to program. We're teaching them computational thinking at large, how to break down problems and how to think creatively, which are helpful skills to have in any profession. We're also empowering our students to be brave and to take risks, building their resiliency to tackle any challenge that they may face. And through sisterhood, we let students know that they belong. Research has shown that having a supportive group to learn and grow with can help with retention. And we help students feel supported through an emphasis on community and diverse representation in our curriculum. Once students join our supportive and diverse sisterhood, they become members for life. They cannot shake us. We are committed to helping them develop their skills all the way into college and beyond. Girls Who Code is always a call away, and we try to build a network that is not just diverse, but supportive of one another and helps lift each other up. Lastly, by promoting real-world relevance and impact, we show students how they can use computer science to change the world, and we empower them to use CS skills no matter what they want to accomplish. And I really want to stress that as many students as participate in this, we have as many different career trajectories. We know students come in with different interests and skill sets, and it's always really wonderful to see how they can pair them with coding skills rather than just replacing those interests with coding skills. We offer flexible program models that can be led 100% virtually or in person. And this can be with synchronous and asynchronous options based on your needs. So I want to highlight the flexibility here. Everything that is outlined is really about what works best for your students. Clubs under our standard model run synchronously. So whether you're meeting in person or online, you'll complete each activity of the club meeting together as a group. Our hybrid model, which was developed last year in response to the pandemic, encourages your club members to explore the coding project tutorials asynchronously on their own time and allows you to use the synchronous club meeting to focus on select activities. So this is really a question of capacity, time, and whether you want students to do the work all together as a group or offer them some independent learning. In order to cater to the unique learning needs and styles of students of different age groups, we've also divided our clubs program into 3rd through 5th grade clubs and 6th through 12th grade clubs. So those are the two curricula to think about. The 3rd through 5th grade program follows a book club model that teaches beginner learning concepts with the option of online or unplugged activities. So that is worth stopping to note. At the 3rd through 5th grade level, you can completely do the curriculum offline if you'd like to, following a chapter book model. Meanwhile, on that 6th through 12th grade program, it teaches CS concepts of all difficulty levels through flexible plug and play curriculums and self-guided tutorials. So for the 6th through 12th grade curriculum, there is no option for it to be offline. Your students will need a Chromebook, a laptop, or a desktop. Most importantly, our clubs program is also designed so that anyone can start a club. The volunteer facilitator, the person who will lead the club sessions, does not have to have any kind of computer science experience. Our curriculum guides them through and helps with pre-prepared lesson plans and facilitation notes to help anyone become a CS coding facilitator. In addition to ensuring that anyone, regardless of that CS background, can start and lead clubs successfully, our goal is to minimize your prep time by providing flexible club meeting guides that make it easy for you to take the curriculum and run with it. So again, I want to stress flexibility here. We have a lot of suggestions for how you can run a typical meeting, but we also know that you know your students best, and you can feel free to take elements of the curriculum out and replace it with others that you think are better suited for your students and their needs. For our 3rd through 5th grade clubs, each club meeting consists of 3 main chunks, with an optional opportunity to do a community building sisterhood activity to start the meeting off. These sisterhood activities are not always coding related. They're designed to give students an opportunity to first, if this is being held in an after school space, take a beat to see this as a fun after school opportunity and really have a delineation between the regular day's instruction. It's also a great way to have an icebreaker for students who might not know each other or who might just be coming to the meeting fresh. It's also an opportunity to get all your students participating. We make sure that all students feel welcome in these clubs, and we often are asking the facilitator to make sure that they are making sure that students are not falling behind and that students who might be shyer or quieter get an opportunity to shine. The reading is then broken up with chapter guides and activities that really encourage girls to be brave and resilient as they learn about computer science concepts. Plus, the coding challenges can be done using Scratch, or they can be done entirely offline, as I mentioned, following that book club model. Each meeting ends with a stand-up, which is an opportunity for reflection and feedback to begin nurturing a growth mindset. I have been lucky enough to participate in club meetings and seen what facilitators do with their students during a stand-up, and it's wonderful to offer a book-ended experience for students to share out what they accomplished, give themselves a pat on the back, and set intention for what they'd like to do the next time you meet. You'll notice that for the 6th through 12th grade curriculum, it's made up of very similar components and also starts off with that sisterhood activity. The distinction here is that the Women in Tech Spotlights, club members explore bravery, resilience, creativity, and purpose through real-life examples of computer scientists. The Women in Tech Spotlights are really a club member favorite. We find a series of different female leaders of tech across industries, across backgrounds and representation, and it's a wonderful way to start your session off with a female role model, drawing that line directly from the club experience to a future pathway for a career. And afterward, club members can work through a Girls Who Code project tutorial to create their own project. Throughout the club, students hone these coding skills in programming languages like Scratch, Python, or Swift from Apple. And similar to that younger student 3rd through 5th grade club curriculum, each 6th through 12th grade meeting also ends with a stand-up. We find that at the 6th through 12th grade club curriculum level, it's often the opportunity to instate that hybrid model. Older students are definitely more used to having asynchronous work or homework from classes, and so you can afford to have shorter meeting sessions if time is a concern, and opt to have your students do the coding tutorials online. Each of these components can be run, again, in person or virtually, and we offer flexibility to run portions of your meeting synchronously as a group or asynchronously outside of your club's meeting. All of these decisions are for you to make, and all you have to do is determine what works best and select the meeting guide that fits your needs for that day. One of our most important aspects of that 6th through 12th grade club curriculum is the Girls Who Code project, which is a collection of work centered around a topic that club members care about. The Girls Who Code project is essential to our pillar of relevance and impact. By asking students to use the coding skills that they're learning in clubs to address a topic that they select and are passionate about, the Girls Who Code project is the primary way that our 6th through 12th grade club students experience real-world, hands-on learning, where they can see the difference that they can make with code. It's also a wonderful opportunity to have your students walk away from this experience with a link that they can include in future resumes, in portfolios, and in applications. Whether it's addressing social justice issues, raising mental health awareness, combating educational inequity, or bullying, the club students find incredibly creative ways to make an impact by building websites, games, and apps. The sky is really the limit for what they can create. And for those of you who sign up to receive a copy of the presentation, I'm more than happy to include a link to our project gallery where you can see all of the past Girls Who Code Club projects. But it doesn't end there. Clubs are just one opportunity that students can access through Girls Who Code. From our summer immersion program to our high school age students in college loops, our virtual mentorship program, and our internship and job opportunities for alumni, we keep our sisterhood strong and offer students support through college and career. I want to emphasize again here that once students are participating in one of our programs, we definitely keep them in this network for as long as they need it. We often are tying and connecting our alumni to our corporate partners for job opportunities when available, and we make sure to nurture that pipeline of the future female engineers from a 5th grade club all the way to college. So with that, I know I've gone over a lot of information about how to implement your program and how to take this back, but now I'm going to dive into the nuts and bolts of how you can get started, and happy to take any questions as well. To start a club, all you need is space in a nonprofit to host the actual club, like a school, a library, or a community center, and the capacity to host your club either virtually through Google Classroom, Zoom, or any other virtual conferencing platform. Again, we have no prescriptions here. It's really whatever works best for you. Technology and internet connection are also required for each club member of a 6th through 12th grade club, but are optional for those 3rd through 5th grade clubs. And our curriculum is compatible with PCs, Macs, and Chromebooks. iPads are also an option, but can only be used for the beginner and self-guided tutorials in the coding language Swift. Lastly, there are 2 roles that every club needs: a facilitator and a decision maker. The facilitator is a volunteer who guides club members through the curriculum. They must be 18 years or older and pass a background check if they are not an employee of the club host site. Of course, if you're a teacher or a librarian or someone who already works at the school, you definitely can bypass that. Employees of host sites, as I said, such as teachers and schools, are not required. And most importantly, facilitators do not need to have any computer science or technical experience to facilitate a club. The best feedback I've heard as a Girls Who Code staff member is hearing from facilitators who are not STEAM or STEM teachers, who are English teachers, who are folks who are coming from something completely different and are able to use our curriculum and take the opportunity themselves to demonstrate that bravery and resilience that's needed whenever you're learning something new. So we're always open to having folks who don't have any kind of CS background. Of course, for those of you who do, it's only an advantage. And then the decision maker is someone employed by the club host site who serves as a point of contact for Girls Who Code and lets us be the one that we can reach out to for any issues or questions. And once you have those 3 things, you are more than ready to get started. We're here to help every step of the way. Folks like myself, community partner managers at Girls Who Code, work with community partners, those folks who have larger networks and they anticipate running multiple clubs. I'm more than happy to get you started and help you set them up. We support those club logistics by providing flexible club meeting guides, virtual facilitation resources, along with recruitment toolkits to help you actually recruit new Girls Who Code club members. We also offer tons of online training and tutorials. So for anyone who is still feeling hesitant about getting started and not sure about their experience, you will definitely have the opportunity to learn from Girls Who Code and be involved in several trainings to get you feeling comfortable before you're taking this in front of your students. And just because we know that community is such an essential part of the club's curriculum and what we like to foster in the actual experience for students, we definitely try to make sure there's a sense of community amongst club facilitators as well. So you're always more than welcome to reach out, get connected, and find opportunities to learn from other facilitators who have found success at their schools or in their sites. We'll also give you, like I said, opportunities to connect with Girls Who Code and different panel discussions, female leaders in tech throughout the semester and through the academic year. So if you are ready to join, here is how to do it. To access the club's application, you can head to girlswhocode.com/clubsapply. There, you'll be prompted to make an account on Girls Who Code HQ, which is our virtual learning platform and a one-stop shop for everything Girls Who Code. Make sure to indicate that you want to start a new club. By creating that HQ login, you can also preview the curriculum before you even apply. So if it's helpful to take a few elements of the curriculum back to folks at your school or your sites, definitely go ahead and make an account, get access to that free preview, and then make a decision before you want to get started completing the club's application. After your application is approved within 5 to 10 business days, you can use that HQ login to access the full curriculum. So for the 6th through 12th grade curriculum, that's almost 120 hours worth of content. And for the 3rd through 5th grade level, there's slightly less through the chapter books. Once you're ready, you can launch that club at any point during the school year. So that's really important to note that there's no rush here. If you complete a club application now or ahead of the holidays, you can indicate there that you don't actually want to start running this club until the spring semester, until the summer of next year. This is definitely an opportunity to plan ahead, and you don't have to anticipate getting started right away. That's definitely helpful for those of you who might want a few weeks to get acclimated to the curriculum and take a look at the resources that you have offered. And then once you're actually ready, you can launch your club at any point during the school year or summer, and you'll have students access the curriculum by creating their own account and being invited to your club as well. So that way they have access as well. As a reminder, Girls Who Code is here to help every step of the way. So I can't stress enough that we know and appreciate the commitment that folks are making to spend this time with students and to introduce them to this computer science education. And we want to make it as easy as possible to implement. So we are flexible, we are free, and we are here to support you. With that, I wanted to share my contact information. Of course, my name is Cabret, and I manage our partnerships and clubs in the state, and I'm more than happy to hopefully have continued conversations with folks who have been inspired today to get started. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that this information is useful to you and your communities.
Cabret, thank you so much for sharing Girls Who Code with us today and all the resources that you have available for our educators and students across the state of Indiana. And I just wanted to know how much I love that you describe what you do and what this is with Girls Who Code as the sisterhood. I'm definitely going to steal that idea. I love that concept that we're the sisterhood of computer science. So I love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's great.
Nothing gets done alone. It's all a sisterhood.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, absolutely. So on behalf of the In-Learning Partnership, STEM Synergy, and Keep Indiana Learning, thank you for all of our fabulous presenters this week. We've had so much fun and learned so much about computer science, free computer science professional development, curriculum, programs, how computer science is embedded into NASA programs and initiatives, where the jobs are in computer science nationally and also right here in the Indiana state. Ways to embed computer science through computational thinking into all classrooms, as well as the need for more females in computer science. If you missed any of our sessions, you can find them on demand within the Keep Indiana Learning YouTube channel. Also, if you're interested in getting more support or resources around STEM and computer science, you can visit keepindianalearning.org and check out the plethora of resources and support that are available there. Thank you for all that you do, educators, to bring STEM and computer science to all of our students across the Hoosier State. You are preparing our Hoosier students to be the leaders, entrepreneurs, and creators that we will rely on for the future of our communities, states, nation, world, and even, like we talked about this week, our deep space exploration. So we appreciate you. Thank you for sharing your computer science ed week with us, and have a great holiday season. Thanks. Bye-bye.